Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go-to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, this is your space to connect, learn, and grow alongside a community of trailblazing women who, just like you, they are making their mark in the world of business. From personal branding to powerhouse marketing, from leadership to lifestyle tips, we've got you covered. So get ready to ignite your passion, fuel your purpose, and unlock your potential with Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. Let's make this journey together and turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Hey guys, welcome back to Female Entrepreneur Show. Today, we're thrilled to introduce you to a true leader in the world of nutrition and wellness. You know what? She's an award-winning registered dietitian and nutritionist who's made waves not only in the greater Los Angeles area, but across the whole entire nation with her innovative and science-based approach to healthy living. Melissa Hooper is the founder of Bite Size Nutrition, a company. It's all about making nutrition fun and accessible in bite-sized pieces that improves your quality of life for individuals and for the corporate world alike. You've probably seen her featured on one of the top 100 different television shows around the country and lifestyle platforms where, you know what? She's the go-to expert on all things nutrition. You know what? With a master's degree in nutrition, Melissa has been the driving force behind countless media campaigns, presentations, and nutrition marketing programs, helping millions make smarter food choices and live healthier lives. So her passion for improving lives through healthy foods and lifestyle changes is contagious. And today, guess what? She's here to share with you her insights with us. You know what? It's an absolute honor to welcome the incredible Melissa Hooper to the show today. Thank you, Melissa, for being with us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here.
Yep, I'm super excited for you. Also, can you do me a favor and tell me about your journey of how you actually became an entrepreneur?
Okay, so I actually started out working in a hospital setting where we had a health club and working with patients, working with clients, also teaching classes. And along my journey, I was asked to put together some programs for patients and never really did it. And then I ended up moving around the country a little bit. I've done television in Tulsa. I've worked on television in Kansas City, then was recruited to California and was the dietitian for Stater Brothers Markets. It's a grocery store chain here in Southern California that I believe now has actually expanded to some other states. But having done all that work and just loving having that touch with the clients and the customers and the patients, and also working with businesses, with the manufacturers and the brands, and just helping get a true nutrition message out that's going to help people improve their quality of life by making better choices, whether it be at the grocery store or if it's at home and you're making a recipe for your family, or just even being out to eat at a restaurant. And these are really our day-to-day lives, and just learning how to make those healthy choices and implementing them in bite sizes so that it lasts for a lifetime. It's a long change to make over time, but if you do it in small changes, small bite sizes, it makes a much bigger difference in the long run, and it will make lasting results.
So, and you work with the corporate side and you work with the individual side. So tell us about
Yes.
the corporate side. What exactly can you do for a corporation, and how can you improve the healthy living for others working with the corporation?
Yeah, and that's a great question. I have worked with different brands, manufacturing brands for food and all types of different products, whether it be something like a beverage, and helping these brands when they're bringing a product to market and helping bring out the consumer nutrition messaging about their product. Like, why is it so healthy, and how can the consumer actually use it or consume it and add it into their everyday life? And I write messages for media. I can do media interviews. I do brand representation, spokesperson work, going to the booths at different events and helping to represent their product at an expo or a convention. So there's a lot of different ways that I've worked with brands and with the consumers. I do a lot of work one-on-one virtually, but I'm also in the process of putting together a program now where I can teach people how to eat healthy and walk them through day to day making decisions. How do you do this? And doing recipe modifications if they are wanting to keep a family favorite recipe that, if it might not necessarily be so healthy, but they can make it a little healthier. So helping out if they've got high blood pressure or high cholesterol or maybe even diabetes. It's helping to manage some of those chronic diseases too through making healthier choices in what we do with our consuming of food and recipes and just everything, goes into of life. We can't have life without it.
I'm a New Orleans girl, so I mean,
Yes.
we're all about cooking. I believe you're
Yeah.
originally from where?
Oklahoma. So I grew up eating fried foods and drinking whole milk, if you can believe it. But went to college and started learning how to eat healthy and tried to bring it home to my parents when I'd visit. And they love their deep fat fryer, but they have changed and getting off a whole milk ice cream and doing more like frozen yogurts. There's small little tweaks that can be made that still taste good, and you don't feel like you're missing out, but you're getting better health from it and better nutrition.
Yep. And from my understanding, from an individual point of view, when you work with individuals, you deep dive. Don't you look at like their blood work even? And tell us
Mhm.
about your process of working with a client, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's actually really an interesting point to even have this part of the conversation. What separates a dietitian from just a nutritionist is, we go through a 4-year degree, we do a year internship, we sit for an exam called the registration exam. And then every 5 years, we have to renew and make sure that we are maintaining our credentials. So we are working with dietitians. When we are doing our work, we are trained, and it's just like another profession, like a clinician or a doctor or a nurse. We all have our curriculum. And then in terms of what I do with that assessment, it's looking at the whole person. So we look at the subjective part of it, like, how's their living situation? Can they do exercise? Can they cook their own meals? Can they go to the grocery store, or is somebody else doing all this for them? And then looking at the objective, this is where the labs come in, and I look at all their labs. Every patient that I have, I look at their labs and will assess where their lab values are and how does that translate into what they're doing with their nutrition. There's different indicators through those labs that will show me how I can help a person improve the quality of their life by making tweaks that are going to improve their blood work that over time might help prevent some kind of chronic disease down the road. And then and part of the next step is the actual assessment. Having the conversation with the patient or a client, how ready are they to make change? If they're not committed to making some change, then I have to kind of dial it back. I can't tell or give them a whole lot at once. We're going to have to walk through it a little bit slower and help them make these changes, these small changes that it helps empower them and make them know and feel that they can make these changes. They're not going to lose out on the fun with food. They're still going to be able to eat some of their favorites, but yet improve the quality of their life. And then, so part of that last piece is the plan. What's the plan going to be? And that plan may change from week to week or month to month based off of what the goals are for this patient or this client. And so that's where I can also help guide them through the process. I don't ever tell anybody what to do. I have these conversations and find out what's important to them and then help guide them on the right path so that they can achieve that. And sometimes it's also just a matter of helping keep them accountable and even in a way being their cheerleader along the way when they do make changes that are healthy that maybe 6 months ago they would have never thought about doing or never would have wanted to have done
I,
prior to working together.
I love that. So I love the name of your business, the bite-sized nutrition. I love that because you're not only doing it in nutrition, you're doing it in every aspect of their life, just walking
Yeah.
them along in bite sizes.
Yes, and that's one of the things I learned. I've worked in hospitals too with very, very sick people where, they had chronic diseases. And I thought, had somebody talked to them, if they'd had somebody work with them 15, 10, maybe even 5 years before, would they be here today in the hospital in this condition? And some people, it might still not have made as much of a change, but for some of them, it would. But it's making those small changes because a lot of times whenever you talk to maybe a person who's a real meat and potato kind of person, they don't want to give up meat and potatoes, or if they're really into sweets, got a big sweet tooth. It's how are these people going to make these changes and not feel deprived? So there's a real fine balance with that, but it's what I love doing, and it's helping them see that just these small tweaks really make a change in the long haul in preventing disease or managing a chronic disease or even just reaching a goal. Maybe they want to run a marathon when they're, in their 50s or, it's, it just whatever it happens to be, what's important to them and helping them with a roadmap to get there that's in bite sizes. And that's the way it works. Everything, good nutrition comes one bite at a time.
I love it. That is so
Yeah.
good. All right. So, in running your business, what is the one tool that you feel that you couldn't live without being able to help your clients?
Yeah, I would definitely have to say a calorie calculator. In prior years, I used what was called a CompuCal. And I know there are some apps out there that help people, but for me, I like to have that personal touch. And I'm able to tweak some of the factors that go into the equation for determining what's going to be best for that patient. And, if they hit a milestone, then going back and recalculating. So to me, I would definitely have to say a calculator.
Calorie calculator for the clients. Okay.
Yeah,
What about
for
you?
sure.
What about you personally in business?
Yeah, so I would have to say my laptop. I mean, I feel like my whole world is in my laptop, and I take it with me everywhere. I've got all my apps in there. I've got my email. I have the resources that I like to share with my clients, and just everything in there. Social media. It's I think I don't know what I would do without it.
I agree. I agree. So, if you had a superpower for one day, what would it be?
I would want to be able to time travel. I would love to go back in time knowing what I know now and maybe have done some things a little differently, make some decisions faster and quicker to do what I would really have loved to have done. Knowing that, if I could go forward too and see the end results of some of these other decisions if I'd done them differently. So I think that would be really fun and it'd be interesting in a lot of ways.
I love Back to the Future when he tells them to get in the car and they go, why? Why? It's your children.
And he's like, what children? Yeah, exactly. That would be, I think that would be really fun.
It would be. It would be, especially knowing where you'd want to go. And if you would have tweaked something at this certain time, if it would have transpired into the future.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. And sometimes moments that you have, you don't realize how important they are until the moment's gone. And, I think that too would be a part of it. It's just, sometimes we just go about our daily lives and don't realize some of the magnitude of some of the moments when you pass that moment, you might not ever have it again. And whether that's good or bad or indifferent.
yeah. And that goes exactly well with your nutrition, bite size.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
everything keeps coming back to bite size. Okay.
That's right.
All right. So let's go ahead and let's go back a little bit more. We're going to go back a little bit and we're going to tell our 18-year-old self something that we wish we would have known as 18, that we know, that lesson we've learned today.
Mm. I would have told my 18-year-old self to start sooner and to not be afraid. Do it afraid, even if you're feeling it, because the longer you sit and try to analyze and figure it all out, you're wasting time. And then at some points, I've actually talked myself out of things because I'm not taking action fast enough. So, yeah, I definitely would say, to just start doing it. And even if it's not turning out the way I thought, all of it is a learning lesson to build on to make it better and make something work and on the next try.
Awesome. What keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated? I would just say the fact that I love helping people and helping them have a healthier, higher quality of life through what they eat. When I was really, really young, we lost my favorite grandmother and to cancer and heart disease. And it's one of these things that like we just have had so many more advancements in knowledge and research and medicine and technology. I feel so motivated because no matter what a person's field of industry is, no matter what their goals are in life, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And we can't always pay to get that back, you know? So that really does motivate me to do what I do. And I feel like it's not just my passion, but it's almost my life calling, helping people in the way that I am passionate about. And, I can't help everybody if they're not willing or ready for change, but the ones that are, I absolutely am committed to helping them make, the changes that are going to help them achieve the goals that they want in life.
Love it. What is
Yes.
the one thing that you literally know beyond a doubt someone can do to improve their life?
To improve their life. And then through nutrition, or if that would probably be the number one, is just making better choices with their health. I mean, this could be beyond nutrition as well. I mean, just getting out and getting fresh air, making it a goal to do something every week that is either going for a walk or trying to get better sleep, or there's so many things in the health uh, area of that could be improved. I would probably, but it is pretty broad, but yeah, I would say one thing. Actually, you know what? I would even say one thing beyond that is just having a healthy, positive outlook and a healthy attitude about where you are and where you want to go. You might not be where you want to be today, but you're better today or you're further today than you were a week ago or a month ago or a year ago. And just to keep believing in yourself. I think having that positive outlook and a positive mindset and a positive attitude, no matter what comes your way, you can always overcome it and keep moving forward.
I love that. And here's on a personal level,
Yeah.
um, what is one thing that nobody really knows about you that is a secret that maybe you've done,
That's
or who knows?
Well, I guess I don't know if this is exactly a secret, but I'm a certified scuba diver, and I learned how to become. I got certified when I was living in the middle of the country with no oceans. And I had a friend who she had just gone through a divorce, and she was like, "Hey, please take these classes with me." And then we ended up taking a trip and ended up going scuba diving down to like 82 to 83 feet in the Caribbean. So yeah, and I call myself the brave chicken, because it was I didn't realize how far down we were. We weren't supposed to go past 50 feet, and because we were newbies with our certifications for the scuba diving. And my friend pointed to the depth gauge and pulled it over and pointed, and then I kind of had a panic moment, like, oh my gosh, we are really this far down below the water. And it was like, okay, like just breathe, just breathe, don't panic. And then I thought, you know what, this is actually pretty cool. You're seeing the bottom of the ocean, you're seeing all these creatures go by. And I thought, you know what, I don't know if I'll ever scuba dive again, but I did it and it was exciting and something that I'm really glad I did it.
That
I'm glad my friend wrote me into it.
happens.
So,
Friends do that.
yeah,
They rope you into
yeah.
things. All right. Favorite book?
All right. So I would have to say, if I was thinking about business, one of my favorite books is, You're a Badass. It's a book about a gal who she had a lot of mental hangups with getting some limiting beliefs out of her way so she could accomplish what she was wanting to do. And in the book, I found so many parts in there where I was finding myself in the book, where I was just limiting myself with these beliefs that I don't even really know fully where they came from, but they were definitely blocking me from moving forward and taking action and doing the things that I really wanted to do. And and then I would have to say maybe more for a personal side of things, which kind of sounds like the oxymoron here, but I would have to say the Bible because it's really been grounding for me all through my life, whether things are good, things are bad, anything in between. Um, it just feels like it helps me center myself and find peace and just that quiet peace, whether I'm having a great day or a bad day. It's constant for me. It's very it's like my rock.
I love it.
So
And it's not an oxymoron. It's perfect. I love it.
yeah.
All right. What about your favorite song or songs?
So I have a few of them that kind of help me get a little revved up. And one of them is called That's My Girl by Fifth Harmony. And if I ever have to do like a video or if I'm, having like a big call or a big conference call, I like to play that one and actually dance. Not when anybody's looking, but yeah, I can get a jam on when there's no eyes.
Love
Yeah, and then yeah, so it's good one for getting, kind of pumped up. And then the other one is Me Too by Megan Trainor. And then another one, it's called Jackpot by Jocelyn Alice. So those are a few of my favorites. They're a little bit on the older side in terms of they're not the most current, but really does get me boosted and really get me revved up. So yeah, just kind of puts me in that zone, that mindset, and helps me get moving and get my energy up. So
that. All right. Do you
yeah.
have a favorite quote?
I would have to say is that all things work together for the good. And that doesn't mean that all things are good. It just means that they will eventually all work together if you give them time. You might not see it in the day of or the moment of, um, but if you get a day later, a week later, a month later, 5 years later, 10 years later, you look back on that point in time and realize that something that you might have perceived as being bad or unexpected or something you really wouldn't have chosen if you had an option to choose something else. Um, if that moment hadn't happened, you wouldn't be on the trajectory that you're on and wouldn't be who you are and where you are without that happening. And so that's where I feel like it's really just taking that positive attitude, that positive outlook again and saying, you might not be able to change something in the moment, but later on, it might really be one of the best things that ever happened to you or for you.
Yep. That is so true. You can look
Yeah.
at everything in a positive or negative way, and you might as
Yeah.
well look at it that it's positive. It's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a giveaway or a download or a contact that the audience can you're offering?
Yeah, so I am working on putting together a program so that people can learn how to go through weight loss and different steps and do it as a group. So I would send people to my website for now until I get that completely completed and built out. I'm aiming to have it done by probably the end of October at the latest. So kind of good for rolling into the holidays. It can be hot for the holidays, and then New Year's season of all the weight loss efforts. So kind of getting it ready for that. So if they want to go to www.dietitianmelissa.com, I do have a page on there where they can send their information and send an email to me if they're interested in any of anything like that. I can put them on the wait list, and when it's ready, I can send them information about it.
That sounds great. Yep.
Yeah.
So everybody needs to go there to www.dietitianmelissa.com and get on the wait list.
Yes, that would be great. Yeah, would love that.
Yep, the wait list is here. It's ready for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And guys, it's more than just mindset. She goes deep down into the medical aspect of it with you. And that's what you're looking for. All right.
Yes.
Melissa, is there anything else you'd like to tell our audience that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, I would just like to say, that, good nutrition comes one bite at a time. So don't feel overwhelmed, and don't beat yourself up if you have started a plan and maybe you're not on it and you feel like you've fallen off the wagon. Just remember, you can get back up the next day, start fresh again, and take it one step at a time with the one bite.
Don't get the lasso out and lasso ourselves and
Yeah.
beat yourself up, right? We can just start it.
Yeah. That's right. Definitely. Yes. And thank you so much for having me on here. I am so excited and so grateful. Thank you so much, Angel. I really, really appreciate this very much.
Thank you for being on. You're precious. Love you.
Oh, love you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.